Hello everybody, Sifd here again, and today we'll be playing Godslayer Arena. The game is a roguelike Autobattler Diablo style game. That means that it's an Autobattler where everything's gonna be playing itself, but at the same time we're also almost building a Diablo character. At least that's what the game looks like. We're gonna be playing with a barbarian because the game is a free demo, which you can play right now if you want to, so you can play alongside me if you want. There should be a link in the description or something. And yeah, the character has the following ability. Passively gain range in combat, enter berserk upon reaching max range, and when we are in berserk mode, we gain 20% bonus, not percent, 20 bonus spell power, 25% increased mana regen, 50% increased attack speed, and basic attacks cleave. Let's see what all that means inside the fight, the game itself. Also, there is only one level right now, that god thing we chose. And this is our character here, the barbarian. Our life 5000 and our rage. When this thing fills up, then the abilities happen. And also lose 25 rage per second, so this is not a permanent effect. Now, what is the auto battle part of this? Well, first of all, the game has the auto chess mechanics, which means that the spells we choose, which are going to be casting on themselves. For example, if I get this mythical strike, then I'm going to be casting mythical strike whenever we get 15 mana. As you see, top right is the mana cost, 10 mana, 15, 6. And then it also has tags. For example, this thing says Twilight and this thing says Reaver, which means if I get more of those abilities, then I'm gonna get that passive. The Reaver passive says, for example, gain increased area of effect. Reaver skills have a chance to cast empowers, etc, etc. And Twilight gives you casting Twilight spells generates 1 point of combo. Casting non-Twilight spells consumes the combo for more spell power, etc, etc. So that's pretty much how the game plays. So let's begin getting a spell, and my character is gonna be casting that spell on himself whenever we get that mana, because the game generates mana itself. So what are the choices? We got Fireball, shoots a fireball towards 2 random enemies. By the way, Fireball is like a mage spell, but we can create like a mage. It doesn't matter that I'm a berserker. The concept of that does not exist in this game. Shoot the fireball towards 2 random enemies. The fireball explodes upon colliding with an enemy, dealing damage in an area, and shoot. And if I have 120 spell power is what it says at the bottom, shoot 1 additional fireball. And now we have 100 spell power on everything, so that pretty much means if I'm in enrage, because enrage says gives us 20 spell power, then this thing is gonna have 120 spell power. Therefore, when we are enrage, this shoots an additional fireball. That's how this works pretty much. And then on the right side, we can also see the traits in a very small and descriptive manner. So for example, your leftmost and rightmost spells refill bonus spell power, Enigma spells gain more spell power, and Phantom is gaining bonus evasion score. So this pretty much is more spells, more spell power, and also evasion. This thing here is Twilight spells combo mechanic, and then also more AoE. And this here is Shadowfang, which is Necroweave, Arcane, and Deathblade, which is enemies resurrect our skeletons. Arcane spells grant additional spell power, and then Deathblade is crit chance. And this specific spell says deal 120 damage to a nearby enemy with the highest health. If this spell crits, gain 20 attack damage for 6 seconds. And this here says summon ethereal greatsword user to swing into a random group of enemies, dealing some damage, and then spell power increases both spell and area of effect. I would enjoy the idea of going for the Reaver here, gain increased area of effect. Reaver skills have a chance to cast Empower, doubling the area bonus with additional spell power. And then at the very final level, it says 80% area effect. I don't think we're going to be able to get there, but at 6 passives, we get 50% AoE. And I would like to go this Reaver idea. Otherwise, I could also go with this thing. But let's try this. Let's try AoE. Or should I go Assassins? A bit hard to decide right now. Let's go with AoE. Let's go with AoE and let's see how this goes. Now, as I said, you put this down here and this is going to start casting on itself. Do you see this 100 damage? That's the 100 spell power we have. So we are going to be able to see here how much spell power we get. So let's begin the fight. Let's begin the run, so that you see how the game plays. And now I'm not doing anything, the game literally plays itself. My character is doing its normal attacks, and whenever this thing fills up, that's when, you know, it hits the 15 mana. That's when it casts. And the casting is this little clone that appears somewhere and hits. That's pretty much the spell we got right now. And we're about to, I guess, beat all the opponents here. The whole idea is just eat through the opponents. This is all happening in itself. And when the opponents are done, then we're gonna go ahead and get a new spell and just become more powerful. You know, that's the whole gameplay. I just explained the whole gameplay to you. Now, there are gonna be things happening throughout these waves. It's not like buy a spell, go, buy a spell, go. There are other mechanics happening, but we're gonna get there when we get there. So, the last thing I didn't explain right now is there are tiers in the spells. For example, top left here, they have the system of, I guess, the army, I would say. So these are tier 1 spells, and you always have 1 reroll, and buying these is free. So for example, from these 3, I can only buy 1. If I buy this, then I cannot buy that. If I buy this, I cannot buy that. That's pretty much it. And then when I'm gonna reroll, I'm gonna be able to buy 1 from the next 3. And the last but not least mechanic is that you can get combos. For example, if I... Not combos, you can combine spells into higher versions of it. For example, if I get 3 times the Mythical Strike, like all Autobattlers, I'm gonna be able to have a higher level Mythical Strike. That's pretty much it now. The game showcases that I already am into Twilight. I don't want to go into Twilight though. Let's see what the spells we got. Drain. Gain 3D attack damage for 6 seconds. Additionally, basic attacks grant the spell you're currently casting 3 spell powers for its next cast. What? No. Basic attacks grant the spell 3 spell powers. So for 6 seconds, I do more damage, and also I power up the spell I'm about to cast. And this is Chrono and Breaker. Chrono is spells either generate bonus mana or bonus spell power, depending on if they're placed next to another Chrono spell, and the other one is gain increased attack speed. Basic attacks have a chance to explode for bonus damage. I do enjoy this idea for attack speed, maybe just an attack speed build. A Dusk Bullet here says fire 2 projectiles towards your current target, dealing some damage, and then if I have 130 spell power, fire 2 additional projectiles, and the next projectile spell gains also this effect. I don't really think about that. Twilight is once again generating combo points. Soulwaker is lose less range while berserking and additionally gain bonus SP in berserk. Let's actually read into this. That's not this, that's this thing. So the trait effect changes depending on your hero, because we have the Raging Bloodlord that says lose less rage, 25% less rage loss, 5 additional spell power while berserking, 60% less rage. I mean, there are only 4 spells in this game, so this can get up to level 4 pretty much. I do enjoy this idea, going for the rage mechanic, maybe rage and attack speed. Breaker for attack speed and Rage for a longer rage duration, and I go for an auto attack build pretty much, not for a spell build. That would be a nice idea I would enjoy. And then Death Pulse is passive, auto cast the spells whenever you deflect an enemy hex. Hex is the thing on the ground that appears when opponents attack us. Some explosions happen on the ground, that's a hex. Active Conjure an ethereal portal at a random enemy location. The portal fires a spread of 3 projectiles towards the enemy, each dealing 15 damage. So this does very low damage because it says that it auto casts when we counter hexes. That's pretty much the idea. And it also goes into Hex Deflect here. So this gain bonus Hex Deflection score. So the idea is you go full on Hex Deflection and this thing fires on its own a bunch. That also sounds insane. But I would like to go this attack speed idea build with berserking. So let's actually get this attack speed thing as my choice. And let's roll our way into the next zone. And once again, we got more choices here. I already read the Fireball. I already did the Mythical Strike. I mean, I have the Mythical Strike. And we got the new one, Cryo Heart. Passive, gain 50 health. Active, deal 100 damage to 3 random enemies. If this kills at least 1 enemy, increase this spell passive bonus health by 1. And at 130, it also does more damage. 130 spell power does more damage to more opponents. I don't think I care about this. I don't really think I care about this. I would like, let's go with the thing I already have, so it levels up. And let's put this here in. And now, how do these cast? They don't cast all the time. You see this blue mana orb? This thing transfers around spells, and that's the spell you pretty much cast. So let me actually show this. For example, the mana orb is here now it's here, now it's here, now it's here. And it's always going left and right, and it's pretty much casting the spell when it fills it up. That's how this goes. So if I have 10 spells, the mana orb is going to be going around and casting them slowly each. So right now we only have 2, so they're bouncing left and right. And this here on the ground, this red thing is the Hex, as I was previously saying. So when the previous mechanic was saying deflecting Hex, it means deflecting these explosions, which by the way happen randomly because you have no control over what your character decides to do. So here we are on the next shop. We got new things to read. First of all, I found a Reaver passive, which is the AoE, which I was thinking into going into. And by the way, we're getting more and more spell slots here. Let's read the spells. Razor Blade. Deal 50 damage to surrounding enemies at 120 spell power. Teleport to a random enemy and cast with 50% increased area. Let's not forget that I get 20 spell power when I am in rage mode. So this means when I am enraged, it teleports us. Same with, yeah, actually nothing else. And this passive is, what is gain additional resonance? What is resonance? I'm not really sure what resonance is. Doesn't really matter right now. Maybe I'm gonna read it later and understand it later. Or does it say here? No, it doesn't say what resonance is. Oh, resonance is here. This passively gain 100 resonance per fight. Earning a certain amount of resonance allows you to select between randomly selected rewards. Rewards can be skipped if desired. Oh, so getting resonance is actually good. Okay, I should definitely go into resonance if I can do that. Anyway, this really fits the build regardless. Other choices. Bolt Battery. Passive. For every 2 projectile spells you cast, grant the spell to the right 3 spell power until the end of combat. And active, autocast a random projectile spell at 75 spell power. Okay, this is awesome for a spell power projectile build. I'm not into projectiles, so forget that for now. If you enjoyed the video, by the way, definitely drop a like and subscribe. And if this takes off, then I will play this again. So maybe then I'm gonna do a projectile build. Next, Ice Shard Missile. Fire 3 ranged missiles towards your current target, dealing 30 damage to each enemy every 3rd time the spell is cast, or autocast, fire 2 additional missiles. So these two literally combo, because this casts random spells and this says when it casts often. And this here says mana block your leftmost frost craft ability every 5 seconds, auto casted with modified spell power. So the idea of mana blocking is you control this mana orb. Mana block means that your mana orb does not go to that spell, so you can have a bunch of spells, and if half of them are mana blocked, they're gonna not cast, so you can control better what your build in itself is. That's the whole idea of mana blocking, which is really good in general. Deathblade and Shadowborne. Summon a shadow minion to fight alongside you. The shadow minion gains experience whenever you cast or auto-cast a Shadowbane spell. That's awesome. That could be a build on another video. Today we're going Razorblade. I will put the Razorblade in. Let's also actually start with the buff. So we first cast the buff and then go with the AoE, and then we do the blink, which only blinks if I'm enraged, but you know, doesn't matter. I'm in Reaver now, and that means I get increased area of effect. And Reaver skills have a 33% chance to cast Empowered, doubling the area bonus with additional spell power. That means we get 20% more area right now, and 30 spell power if we happen to empower a spell. And that means we have a 33% chance right now for this thing here to blink, because this says at 120 spell power it blinks. Let's reroll. Okay, we got new spells. We had read that already. Punch Transfusion. Passive. This spell generates 100% more mana, and active gain 1 random spell. Grant 1 random spell, 5 spell power. Subsequent manual casts target 1 additional spell up to 5. So this is a tier 3, first of all. When did I get to tier 3 spells, by the way? This is tier 3, and it needs 30 mana, but in reality it pretty much needs 15 mana, because it generates double the mana on that. Actually, this is awesome. And what does the Oracle do? Every 5 seconds, a number of random spells gain mana. This is also awesome. Okay, I do enjoy this as an idea, plus the Shadowborne. Maybe I'm not gonna go into the melee attack build, maybe I'm gonna go with the shadows and whatnot, because this seems awesome. What is this? Infernado. Conjure Infernal Tornado at 2 random enemy locations, dealing some damage over 2 seconds, and then an additional if it's empowered. And this is Executional and Infernum. I don't think I care about this. I would like to get this. I do enjoy this idea. Let's keep this here in case we go into the Shadowborne Oracle build. Because right now we have no real build. We just got some random spells going on. I wouldn't say... Oh, you see, we just blank there. So that means we rolled a 30% chance. So once again, this is just damage around us. That's like this little hurricane that happens. It's about to happen now. Boom. You see that little small hurricane? And now we have now we are enraged, so this thing is gonna be blinking us. You see, it just blanked us and the damage. And once again, it has a chance to do the blink when it rolls the 30% chance, the 33%. And it just happened right there. Although this feels like it doesn't do damage. Nope. I did assassinate and everything around it died too. Very nice. Let's see what we're gonna go into. And we just got our first item here. This is pretty much build defining. So let's see what we got as choices. First of all, they do 2 things. The top and the bottom, I guess. So the top one is combat start, gain 250 health for each tier 1 spell you have equipped, which are these ones. We only have tier 1 right now. And the passive is your tier 1 attack spells deal 25 increased damage, and when combat ends, gain a random tier 1 attack spell. So this combos into itself pretty much, but I don't want to go into tier 1 spells only. Forget that. Gain 5 health regeneration at the start of each combat, permanently gain another 1 health regeneration. So that's health regen. I do enjoy this in general as an idea. Yeah, I do actually enjoy this as an idea. Do I know how much health regen I have? I don't think I know that. Whenever you level up, yeah, it only says how much I regenerated. Whenever you level up, gain 3 shop refreshes. So this means whenever you level up, gain 3 spells, pretty much. So this is free. Free money, free spells, free casting, free powering up. I enjoy this. Gain 500 health, gain an additional 100 health for each shop refresh you used in the planning phase. Okay, and you can now save your shop refreshes between rounds, because normally you can't. At the start of each round, gain an additional shop refresh for every 10 refreshes you hold, maximum 2 additional refreshes. So the idea with this obviously is you stack up to 20 refreshes, and then instead of gaining 1 refresh, which is 1 item every 1 spell every turn, you gain 2 refreshes additional to the one you get, so you get 3 spells each turn. So this is early game, you don't get spells, and the late game you get a bunch of spells. You get 3 spells per turn pretty much. Both of these are really good. I would like to get the regen, I would say, and the free refreshes whenever I get the level. This is more simple to follow, and I don't need to be tracking my things and going on. I enjoy this in general. Money making is awesome, but we're gonna go with the simple version. Also regens us. And here we can choose XP or 2 additional refreshes. 2 refreshes once again mean 2 spells pretty much, because each refresh is a spell. 20 XP means level up faster. I would say let's go with 20 XP, because we just got the thing that says when I get a level I get 3 refreshes. So this is almost 3 refreshes, so let's actually go into that. How much XP do I gain? Earn experience to level up, higher tier spells appear if you're higher level. Earn 10 XP after each fight. Okay, so gaining 10 experience after each fight means I should definitely go into getting XP, because this is like I skipped 2 fights right here. And we only have 20... Oh, the demo ends at fight 20, just to keep that in mind. So, we got once again the Shadow Fang, the Drain, which I'm already using, and probably gonna buy the Drain, as I am already using that. I want to level that up. Let's roll to see, and we got another Drain, and also another Mental Strike, and a new spell, just to read it, Bouncing Hail. 190 projectile towards 3 random enemies, dealing 55 damage. Projectiles bounce towards the furthest enemy range twice. Okay, and the other 2 Arcana says increase spell power and mana block with Frostgrave. Yeah, forget that. So we're gonna go into one of these 2. I want to make sure I'm gonna be into the Breaker build. I'm not really sure I want to stay in the Reaver build. I definitely want to go into the Breaker build though. What is Chrono? Chrono spells generate bonus mana if placed next to at least one other Chrono spell. If not, they gain bonus spell power every 5 seconds. So either 15% increased mana regen or 5% spell power. Okay, I enjoy that. Anyway, we're gonna go with this, the Breaker build spell. So let's see what this normally gives us. This gives us 30 attack damage, 6 seconds, 3 spell power. What's the leveled up version? 45 attack damage, 6 seconds, 3 spell power. So it only gave us attack damage pretty much. And might as well go with this one, which says active grant when random spell 5 spell power. And then every time I cast this again, it gives that the same ability to an additional spell. I'm gonna do that. I would say this should be the first one that casts, so it powers up one of these. This here, by the way, the parentheses means that that's the number that gets affected by the spell power. So, for example, if this has 200 spell power, it's gonna be giving us 90 attack damage. That's what that means. So yeah, the purple number is the one affected. Let's go. So now this powers up that, for example, and that's why this has 105. And this 105 is gonna stay forever. Now this is gonna power up these 2, so these have 105 forever. And now this is gonna power up all 3 of them. Boom. Now they have 116, 111. And it's just gonna continue doing that. Boom. Now it starts giving them 6, by the way. Because this also gets affected by spell power in itself. And now because this has a permanent 129, it's always gonna be blinking. Because the moment I have hit 120, it is allowed to blink. You saw it just blank there. I'm not sure if blank makes sense as a sentence, but doesn't really matter. Blink, go, go. Didn't blink because we won the fight. Very nice. We heal fully at the end of each fight, by the way. And we just won. Let's go another 20 XP. We're about to get a level. Let's see what we're gonna get. We already got the Razor Blade I already have. Yeah, we're just gonna get the thing I already have. Let's just take that and let's refresh. And we got a Dusk Bullet here, which is projectiles. Yep. And 122 additional projectiles. I don't really care about that. Death Pulse is the Hex thing. And Phoenix Call is also new. 5 mana, by the way. Grant the closest area spell 30% increased area and 15 bonus spell power for the next cast. The 5th time this is cast in a combat, gain 15% increased damage until the end of combat. And this is 5 mana. I'm taking this. I think I'm taking this because these are very irrelevant here. This actually makes sense. This gives AoE, which is good because we are into AoE already. I would say maybe let's not use this right now. It gives us attack damage, but I don't really care about it right now. And I would say let's get this because my spells are AoE anyway. And this is gonna make us more mana efficient because this is 5 mana. This here says 30 mana, but as I said, it says passive generates 100% more. So it's as if it's 15 mana pretty much. And if you see in this parentheses, it says this thing's getting spell power actually affects how much spell power it gives out. That's the idea there. This thing's spell power gives us more AoE and more bonus spell power. Grant the closest area spell, which is this one. I would like it to be this one. Yeah, I want this thing to have more AoE and more spell power, so it blinks to an opponent. Although this thing says spell power increases both damage and area effect. And also this does 55. Actually, let's make this have more area and more spell power, so it's even bigger and even more damage. Let's go. And this here is, or this red thing is happening because now we're fighting a hard wave pretty much. This is like 80 enemies. Did you see how big this guy was? You see how huge the attack was? Look at this. Boom. It wasn't that insane this time. I guess we hope to also this empowering. Yeah, this was huge now. So this just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and just does a huge AoE. That's the idea. I am regenerating insane amounts of life as far as I'm seeing here. And yeah, this, as I was about to say, every 5 fights, you fight like a hard fight, so to speak. And then you get transferred to another biome, which you're gonna see in a moment. This does not feel powerful. This feels powerful, this does not. No, it actually killed the whole backline. It is actually pretty decent. And now I'm done with this zone, and here we're gonna choose things that change the game forever. So I can go into the infernal wasteland or the desert. The biome, like, who cares, honestly. What does matter though is this thing, permanent modifiers. For the rest of the game, until I get to the last wave, these things are gonna be changed. Either enemy hexes deal harm and increase damage, which is pretty much you take more damage, or enemy hexes reduce your mana regen by 20% for 1 second. I think I prefer taking more damage, double damage that is, over losing mana. Because this is you lose damage, this is you take more damage. I'm gonna go with you take more damage. Now, let's also see what the specific zone has as a modifier. Projectile spells have 20% reduced spell power. I don't use projectile spells. 2 fights in this zone spawn 3 disruptors, a godly enemy who reduces your mana regen by 20% while you stand near them. Okay, whatever. This thing is enemy hexes are 25% larger and come 25% more frequently, and area spells cost 5 more. I am using area spells. This is in general worse for us. And you also get a bonus if you choose each zone. The bonus is a thing that you can add on top of one of your spells. So the one choice is 20 spell power and fire 1 additional projectile per 20 spell power. Completely useless. 20 spell power is really good for us, but the other aspect is irrelevant. We don't use projectiles. Or plus 15 mana cost, which is bad. Refill 1, which means you cast the spell twice. Refill means that instead of the mana or bouncing away, it stays on the same spell. That's what this means. 20 spell power and 40% increased area of effect. So the idea here is you put this gem, for example, on the Razor Blade, and then the Razor Blade casts twice, but instead of costing 10 mana, it costs 25, which I think makes it worse, not better. We're gonna go with this. 20 spell power is good. The additional projectile is useless, but I prefer that. And also the permanent debuff is also lighter, I would say. So let's now actually add... What are these? Permanent modifiers. Yep, that's what we just got. And let's put the gem on 20 spell power. Honestly, I would say let's put it on this thing. Because this thing, it's like we can even see the difference. 36% increased area and 18 bonus spell power on the next spell. Or I could just put it on this and make sure... by the way, you have to put it away and put it in again. Demo, right? And this now always has the teleport ability built into it because it just got 20 spell power. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get 20 XP here. I'm gonna continue going for XP. And I have 4 rerolls here, so we're gonna buy a bunch of things. And maybe even build a different build. Grumble. Create an ethereal zone that lasts for 6 seconds, dealing 90 damage over 4 seconds. Enemies inside the zone take 20% increased damage from basic attacks. Not the class we are though. Death Pulse once again, the Hex counter thing, and Shock Blast. Fire 2 electric projectiles towards your current target, dealing 30 damage. I'm not really into any of these, honestly speaking. By the way, let's put the Drain in again, because now we have room for it. I would say, I think this is good the way we have it. I'm not really sure about any of these. Might as well go for the Hex deflection score. Not really sure. I don't think any of these really matter. Let's get the Hex deflection, I guess. Roll away. Now we got the thing I'm already using. I'm gonna take that and not just power it up. And now it does 75% base damage. It used to be 50, by the way. So from 50 it went to 75 base damage. And it also means that the multiplier and spell power is more powerful. Actually, it's very weak on the spell power. Is there some kind of way? I'm pressing Alt, Shift, click. No, there is no way of seeing how much the spell power affects the spell. Because I give it 20 spell power right now, but the damage didn't go up by 20. It went up by 15. Anyway, let's roll away. We got new spells that are actually into the things we are. I'm not the beast caller. What is this? Every few seconds, summon a set of spirit beasts that attack random enemies in an area. The more buffs you cast in each combat, the lower the cooldown is. Oh, buffs. I am casting a bunch of buffs. And Twilight is casting Twilight spell generates combo. This is Infernum. I'm not really into Infernum. You can even see down here which spells are that thing. And yeah, Beast Color is this. And Infernum is once again that. What is this? Eclipse. Combat start. Your 3 rightmost spells gain various bonuses. Spell power, crit chance. Okay, whatever. And let's see what the spells are, by the way. Emit an Infernal Blast, dealing 40 damage enemies in an area around yourself. So that's AoE Explosion. 160 spell power. Additionally, dash towards 2 random enemies and repeat the blast when you reach each target. Okay, awesome. And then Torment, fire 3 projectiles towards your target, each dealing 45 damage. Add 150 spell power for every 4 buff spell cast this combat. Fire an additional projectile. That sounds awesome for a buff build. We do have 2 buffs right now. This is a buff, right? Yeah, you can read that it's a buff at the top left. It says buff, here it also says buff. Here it also says buff. I'm taking this. Maybe I'm gonna transition over to a buff build. We got Mythical Strike again. Golden Dart. Firing a golden dart towards your target. The dart explodes upon colliding with an enemy, dealing some damage. At 130, darts now can pierce through 1 additional enemy. And this is Avarita, which is the money thing. Not the money, the resonance thing. I would say we just go with what we have. I'm not gonna really go into this Avarita idea. Let's take this, roll away. That also leveled up just now, and it got 80 damage as a base number. We found a Reaver ability. What does this do? Deal 65 damage in an area. This spells gain bonuses depending on what type of spells is placed next to. Area, adjacent spells gain 10% spell power, projectile, 20% crit chance, passive, generate 25% increased mana, and buff, fire an extended strike. Okay, we got this thing again, the Torment, which I enjoy. And the Summon Spectre. Launch 6 projectiles aimed at your current target, each dealing 100 damage to your target. 6 times 100, this is insane. And this costs 5 mana? This is completely insane. What? 5 mana for 6 projectiles of 100 damage? This sounds insane. We're still going with this though. Although it's worse, but we are very much deep into buffs. So I think we're gonna go with this and go into a buff build. I would like this to be in the build, but right now I think I don't want to break the build open. I think we are good with what we got. This could allow us to go into Beast Caller though. Maybe I should go into Beast Caller and throw away the Reaver idea. I don't enjoy this spell, to be honest. It really feels weak. Let's do one more fight here with the things we have going on, and if this is actually weak, then I'm gonna stop using it. Let's go, and I'm gonna go into Beast Caller, I guess. You know what? I can just throw away the Drain and go into Beast Caller right now. And Twilight. So Twilight says, casting Twilight spells generates 1 point of combo, casting non-Twilight spells consumes all combo, granting increased spell power. If you write most spell as a Twilight spell, then that consumes all combo points after generating 1 point. So 25 spell power per combo point, and these 2 are them. This and this are the Twilight spells. So I would say we flip these. Why does this have 80 spell power right now? Is there a reason this has 80 spell power? Oh, we are in a zone that yeah. Projectile spells have 20% reduced spell power. That's what's happening. That's why this has decreased spell power. And if I do the transfer of the gem, yeah, it's only 96. Yeah, no, we're gonna keep the gem here. And so we got the Twilight idea. So let's actually not give this thing the spell power. Let's give the spell power to this thing, the big strike. So it's like a huge strike. And then let's also have the buff towards the right. I think we're gonna do, this goes here, this buffs this, and then this shoots, and then this gets also buffed from the fact that we are in this Twilight idea. And then, once again, the Beast Caller is that we summon 3 beasts that deal 200 damage, and cooldown ranges from 12 to 6, based on how many buffs I did. So yeah, let's go. Let us go. Let's see how this is gonna go. This here, this is the combo points. We have 0 combo points right now, 1, and then this is gonna be a huge hit. It wasn't really huge, but it was okay. First of all, this is the godly enemy that we were supposed to fight in each zone. Okay, we're not really losing that much life. We are super safe. Oh, that was a huge strike right there. Nice, and just rage just happened. I'm trying to see if this is useful. The 3 projectile shots. Let's see. It's like a shotgun blast. For every 4 buff spells you cast this combat, fire an additional projectile. Okay, we need to go deeper into buffs if we want this to be powerful. That's the idea here. I am regenerating a bunch of life. As long as I don't die. By the way, you have 3 lives. And when you die, you just lose a life and fully heal. So it's very hard to lose the game. And now we get a Mastery spell, which is a permanent spell. And you want that to be in the builds you are actually in. So for example, this is Twilight and Phantom. This is Electros and Spirit. And this is Doom Quiver and Deathblade. I'm not these. This is definitely not what I am. I'm also not these. Yep, gain bonus health regen, and I'm also not these as far as I know. I'm not Twilight, right? Casting Twilight spells generates combo. I am Twilight, but I don't want to be Twilight. And Phantom is gain evasion. Passive autocast the spell whenever you use at least 2 points of Twilight combo. Okay. Active. Perform 6 enhanced stabs in all directions, dealing some damage. This is not a buff, by the way. Also, oh, this is a buff. And this is not a buff. This says, launches 2 randomly aimed projectiles, each dealing 6 damage. Additionally, grant adjacent spells 10 spell power for 1 cast. And this says, active, fire 3 shot range blood projectiles towards current enemy. And then refill 1 means that it's gonna cast twice. Okay, first of all, we're not taking this. So let's reroll this and see what we get. We got Blood Moon. Eclipse twice. So that means we're gonna get 2 of the 6 Eclipse bonuses. And it also says passive, the Eclipse trait now affects your 5 Rise mode spells. That's already awesome. 7 mana cost is very cheap to put in. And then active, launch a projectile towards your current target, dealing 50 damage to all enemies hit. Okay, this is nice. The Blood Moon is nice. So I already prefer the Blood Moon over these two. So we're gonna just roll these away. This got Syntech, which I'm not. Gain increased damage for each unique trait you currently have. I'm not using that. And Arcana. Forget that. We're not using that. And roll away from this one too. Syntech and Soulwaker. Soulwaker is the rage thing I wanted to go into. Passive, again, 5% increase rage for each unique trait you have active. Okay. That also makes sense with Syntech, which says gain more damage based on how many actives you have. And then active launches a split projectile towards your current target, dealing 75 damage. This projectile moves from side to side as it travels to its destination. And now is the big question, do I go buffs? Or do I go rage? Because this is the big takeaway. This is a buff, by the way, but it's Syntech and Arcana, and I'm not really into these at all. Eclipse is just buff and make your things better. And this is more Enrage. I think I should stick to the Enrage idea, although I'm not really into the Enrage mechanic right now. This Soulwaker, but I want to do that. So let's go into the Soulwaker idea. So let's take this, and now we have, I think you cannot unequip this. What is this? Select a Resonance reward, because I just got Resonance maxed out. Gain 2 random level 2 tier 1 spells, who cares? Gain 5 shop refreshes, that's actually awesome, because I can transition the build away. And area spells gain 15 spell power forever. This is also awesome, by the way, because this is just a bunch... This is... Okay, we either go for a bunch of spells, or we go skipping Resonance rewards grants you more powerful rewards the next time they are offered. Ooh... Ooh, let's actually skip and see what more powerful versions mean, so we know what is what. Okay, so we're gonna get a better Resonance reward later. We're gonna go with 20 XP, as I said. XPing up is the play. And here I can go with the Reaver, which is the AoE, and the Syntech, which is gain increased damage for each unique trait you currently have. 2% bonus damage per trait. This is go with a bunch of random traits. Do I want to go a bunch of random traits plus Soulwaker? Man, I'm just going a bunch of random things right now is what it feels like. What is this? Corrosive Mile. Launch 8 projectiles in every direction, dealing some damage to enemies hit. This is irrelevant. I guess we go with whatever build. I don't want to go whatever build. I'm gonna forget the Syntech thing exists, and we're gonna go full-on Soulwaker for the rage mechanics. So let's just take, I guess, the Drain, which I'm already using. Let's roll away. What is this? Efficient Drug passive. Adjacent spells have 25% reduced spell power, but generate 40% bonus mana. Oh, so this is so you quickly go through your spells. Okay, I enjoy that as an idea. Bouncing Hill, we had that. I guess we're gonna buy the Cutthroat Slash, which we're not gonna use most likely. And we're just gonna continue with what we have going on. This seems to be working, I would say. And yeah, let's just go on. We still have the 3 classes. Let's go. Let's go and see how this is gonna go. Oh, I saw the spell happen. Looks pretty cool. This is the exact spell I just got. Looks like shoo 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 shoo. Yeah, that's like, it looks like a DNA, I would say. And this also passively makes my rage better for each unique trait we have, and we have 3 traits, so that means 50% increased rage. Yeah, we get more rage, I guess. We generate this faster, I would assume is what it means. We can also see our total DPS at the bottom right. It's a very small number here. It's like 467, so we can know if the build is better or not. So we should keep that in mind in general. I do enjoy this thing buffing everything. This gains more damage. This gains more damage. Yeah, this buff is the most awesome buff right now, the Transfusion. We're gonna continue with 20 XP, as I said. We found the Phoenix again, that's a yes. What is this? Eye of the Winter, a tier 4 spell. Summon an eyeball, increase an ice above yourself. The eye fires 5 blasts aimed at your location, dealing 40 damage to each area hit. It's Breaker, gain increased attack speed. We found the Breaker thing, the attack speed play. Explosions deal 50 damage. What's the explosions? Gain increased attack speed. Basic attacks have a 25% chance to causing an explosion, dealing additional damage to an area of your target nearby enemies. Okay, I mean, if I take this, the Eye of Winter, I'm gonna be into Breaker. And Breaker helps with basic attacks, which Rage also give us attack speed and AoE, and we are in the idea. So I don't really want to go Phoenix, although the Phoenix is the buff thing. I think we're gonna go with Eye of Winter, trying to go for an auto attack build with Rage. That's what I'm trying to build, maybe. Funnel the Reaver here, Glacier Step Dash towards a random enemy direction, conjuring 5 ice explosions along the way. Each explosion deals 50 damage in an area. And this is also bring us into ice a bit, which happens at 3. Mana block your leftmost Frostcraft spells. Every 5 seconds, auto cast it. So that means if I have 3 frost cast spells in the build, one of them is going to be free, is the idea. Field of Decay. Conjure Field of Decay in random enemy location, dealing 60 damage over 3 seconds. This deals double damage to enemies directly in the center. Bulwark. Gain a shield whenever you cast or auto cast a Bulwark spell. 100 shield, that's decent. I would say we take this. We take the Glacier Step. Once again, it's into Reaver. Reaver is the AoE mechanic. And maybe let's throw this out. Twilight Reaver and go into Frost. I'm not really sure if that's a good idea. I could bring the Breaker in. I can bring both Breaker spells in. Let's maybe throw this out. And this. We're not into Beast Caller right now. Actually, we are into Beast Caller. Yeah, we are into Beast Caller. Definitely bring the buff in. Let's maybe remove the Reaver. Yeah, the Reaver is the AoE. Let's maybe remove the Reaver. I want to try out. We had 450. Yeah, we can see the DPS 125. Let's go here. So now I'm into Beast Caller and Breaker. Breaker is the attack speed idea. And we're gonna bring the 20% spell power, I would say, to the buff. The buff that buffs. I guess the buff that buffs. So we give more spell power to everything. These guys, and you can be second, so we get the attack damage for 6 seconds. Yeah, attack damage obviously is very important because we're doing attack build right now. And this guy might as well exist. Closest area spell gains increased area. Do I even have area spells at this point? Oh, this is an area spell. So let's have it like this. So this buffs that. Let's see how this goes. We have 423 DPS. Let's see if we're better or worse. I don't think we're gonna die just with one switch of spells. So if we get more than 460 something DPS, then it's good. Otherwise, I just made the build worse. We need to rotate back to the previous build. It looks like we are a bit worse, but we can definitely be sure at the end of the wave here, because we need to also go through the rage mechanic, right? And it seems like we're very similar, DPS-wise, so I would like to keep this build going now. Let's not forget that we do want buff spells. Is this a buff? That's area, that's a buff. We have 3 buff spells right now. That means this thing is gonna be getting more and more projectiles, as long as it has 150 spell power, which it doesn't have right now. So we almost had the same DPS, so we can definitely transition. And we got a new passive, active, whatever. So this one does not give us 2 passives, it gives us 1 passive and a gem. So projectile spells fire 3 additional projectiles after casting 10 times. Okay, so that means you want to be either going through these fast, or you want to have a very small pool of abilities. And recursion gem, gain a gem that gives a refill 3. Refill, as you see here at the top right, says your mana orb fills this spell multiple times before proceeding to the next one. That means, for example, if this is my most awesome spell, I put the refill 3 on that, and this thing fires 4 times. Although, obviously, it combos with a rapid fire bow, which says if you cast the thing 10 times, so you want to put this thing on a projectile spell. I wouldn't really say I want that. Area spells gain bonus area equal 100% of their mana cost. Okay. And gain a gem, grant this spell and adjacent spells 10 mana cost and 60 spell power. 60 spell power is insane. 10 mana cost is a bit bad though, and it hits everything around. Now this here is really good for this one, because this thing says double the mana gain. So the 10 mana is as if it's 5 mana. For the rest, it's not really that good. Whenever you auto-cast a spell, which I'm not doing right now, gain 20 attack damage for 5 seconds. That's good, because I'm trying to build an auto-attack build. Gain a gem, mana block the spell, so that means you're not casting it. After every 5th attack, auto-cast it at 50% spell power. I enjoy this a lot, and I would like to put this on, I would either say the Eye of the Winter, because this thing costs 20 mana, so it's slow to cast anyway, or on the Hemophone, because this is a bit irrelevant to our build right now. I enjoy this a lot. 20 attack damage is good because we're an attack build. This here fits because it's gonna make one of my spells not cast. I do enjoy this. We're taking this. And I would say let's put it on the Eye of the Winter, which costs 20 mana and is a bit slow to cast anyway. So this thing is never gonna cast alone. This spell has been mana blocked and will be skipped on your mana orb. It can gain mana through other methods though, which is auto attack in this specific instance. Let's get a level, which means we get a room for another spell. which means we can get more passives, by the way. That's the whole idea of putting things in here. Let's see what we can buy. And also we get rerolls, of course, because of the passive we got in the beginning. Launch 3 projectiles that revolve around you. Okay. This gives us Shadowborne. Shadowborne is summon a shadow minion. Someone which XPs with us. This minion levels up every 2,000 points of experience. Each point of mana spent on casting Shadowborne spells gives it 10 experience. Okay, so that means every 200. Every 200 spells cast, this gets a level. That's like never. But the rest of these are useless anyway. I'm not into Enigma Arcana, and I'm not into this anyway. So let's buy this Nocturne. Might as well roll away. What is this? Syntech again, but with things I don't care about. Last Dance, tier 4 spells. Perform a dash to a random nearby location. Upon reaching your destination, fire 4 projectiles at a random enemy, each dealing 80 damage. Refill twice. The final cast costs twice as much mana, but fires twice as many projectiles. So this thing happens 3 times. 7 mana happens 3 times. I don't think so. Ice Shade Missile. Fire 3 shot. I don't know I'm reading this. Every 3rd time, yeah, we had that. And this one too. This is Shadowborne, which fits. And Frost Craving. Should I go for the Shadowborne play? Because I'm about to get increase the Shadow minion base stats and stat scaling. Unleash the Ultimate Shadow. Ultimate Shadow is borderline impossible. But I do enjoy this. It's also Frostcraft. And I already have 2 Frostcraft. So if I take this, I'm going to have 3 Frostcraft. So I'm going to be able to lock in one of them. I'm going this. So by getting this and putting it in and throwing out, I would say, I am Beastcaller. What of these 3? What can I not throw out? I cannot throw out anything actually. I guess Beastcaller should go. Breaker stays for sure. Yeah, let's throw away Beastcaller. So let's throw away this thing, the projectile spell right now. It's also 10 mana. And let's put in this thing. And now I'm into Frostcraft. That means the leftmost Frost spell is going to be mana blocked. Which in this specific instance is going to be the other 20 mana spell. So both of these are going to be mana blocked. So I'm going to be skipping them. This is fire 3 short ranged missiles towards your current target, dealing 30 damage to enemies. And every 3rd time the spell casts, or auto casts, which it's going to be auto casting, fire 2 additional missiles. So these 2 are not going to be casting at all. Let's continue rolling. What is this? Breaker again and Syntech. Breaker and Syntech, what does this do? Passive. Mana block the spell to the left. Basic attacks have a 50% chance of granting it 2 mana. That's really good, man. Mana blocking the spell is really good. I do enjoy this a lot. So let's definitely buy this. And I'm definitely not using this, is what I'm going to say here. Forget that. I need room here. And also this is not getting cast ever. The rest might happen. Shadowborne. I mean, if I can get one more Shadowborne, I'm gonna put in the Shadowborns. I would like to switch. Am I into Breaker? I am into Breaker. I would like to switch this away because I'm not into Beastcaller anymore, and I'm gonna put this in. So now I'm Syntech, which says more damage based on active traits, and right now I have 4 active traits, and it also comes with this, increased rage for that. So mana block the spell on the left. I would say let's mana block this 10 casts. So right now I'm casting this 5er, which does nothing. This thing which buffs the other spells. This, what does this gain? Yeah, more mana. This thing which also buffs our attack damage, and then this is locked, and I'm gonna be casting Glacier Step on itself. Dash towards a random enemy direction, conjuring 5 ice explosions along the way. Let's see how that's gonna look like. Right now, that's the idea at least. I found Missile again. And Cryo Heart. I don't really care about the Cryo Heart. I do care about the Missile though. This is most likely gonna stay in the build. What is this? Just so we know, passive. Grant this and the closest buff spell 2 mana per second. It's actually really good, because this is free mana. Active bite in a small area towards your target, and refill twice. The second cast grants 20% crit strike, critical damage for 6 seconds before striking. This is not part of the build though, really. Let's definitely take the thing I already have. This is also new. Pyro Burst. Passive. Whenever you deflect an enemy hex, so there is a deflect enemy hex build. This spells gain 10 spell power for the next 3 casts. Active fire and infernal laser, whatever. Toolbind. Passive. Whenever you cast an adjacent spell, grant 2 random spells that share a trait with it. 10 bonus spell power for the next cast. Active. Grant adjacent attack spells 10 increase crit chance and damage for the next cast. Grants adjacent non-attack spells 4 mana. Okay. I don't really care about this, honestly. We are a bit into Oracle. Oracle is spells get free mana randomly. Oh, this is Soulweaver. I'm definitely taking this. So this is the Rage is better. And what is this? Equilibrium. Passive. All spells to the left gain 25% increase area. All spells to the right gain more projectiles. And active randomly select either the left or the right side. Grant 3 closest spells spell power. Yeah, we're going here, and this actually needs to go into the build because this is Soul Weaver, and Soul Weaver is the damage thing. So I would say I don't care about Breaker that much. This is the AoE. I cannot throw that out though. Synth can also get thrown out. Shadowborne can also not get thrown out. I guess we're gonna throw out the ice. Let's go away from ice. I want to throw something out of the build right now. I would say let's throw... I might go Shadowborne later. I'm never going back to Razorblade. And also not to the Reaver Twilight. We're not going back into those. Let's definitely do a switch here. So instead of... We'll go away from Ice and go into Soul Weaver. So this here says 25% reduce rage loss and 5 additional spell power while berserking. So we're gonna go Berserker build pretty much. I'm not the Ice build anymore, but it's okay. Whenever you cast an adjacent spell, grant 2 random spells that share a trait with it. 10 bonus spell power for the next cast. I think the most traits are shared... I would say between these two. I'm trying to see. Berserker is there. Shadowborne is here. Oracle is here. Syntech is the only thing that I'm not using. And then Soulwaker is here again. So I think these here are the most. Now, this here, because we got Oracle now, it says 3 spells gain 3 mana every 5 seconds. So we're going to be casting more and more, faster and faster. Let's see how we're going to look like right now. Let's see how this looks like. So my rage is going up and up. You see the random mana in different spots overall. That's good. We're casting more and more. We also got my little minion here, the level 1 minion sitting next to us. And my DPS right now is not visible. What happened to my DPS? I had DPS at the bottom right. It just disappears. No DPS anymore, boys. We don't have DPS. Nobody knows. This here once again casts alone whenever I'm attacking. And it also gets mana randomly, by the way. Look at this. 240 spell power. 247 spell power. What's even happening, man? Insane spell power right now. 20 XP as always. We want more and more levels. None of these really matter. I'm not gonna take any of these. I don't even need them. There is no reason to even take them. Let's roll away. What is this? Stygian Mask. Gain 50% increased damage for 4 seconds and at 130 spell power for 5 seconds whenever you evade an attack, deal 100 damage to the attacker. Yeah, I don't care about that. I don't care about this either. What is this? Dark Gambit. Launch a magical deck of cards aimed at 3 random enemies, dealing 50 damage and at 130 spell power for 6 seconds every 3rd basic attack autocast. I don't care about that either. What does this do, by the way? Why was it gaining increase? I guess it was gaining insane spell damage because of this. Yeah, grant 2 random spells that share a trait with it, 10 bonus spell power for the next cast. And because this is casting very rarely... Oh, my DPS was 735. That was a nice boost on DPS, I would say. And let's continue. Yeah, let's continue. It's going well. This went well. And now we have a level... my minion became level 4, man. Do you remember when I said I need to cast 200 times? Yeah, something was off on that one. The minion is level 4 now. I'm definitely gonna go into the shadow play. The minion is also tanking damage, so I'm taking so much less damage in comparison to previous fights. The minion's level 5 now. Yeah, the minion's gonna definitely level up a lot. Something is off with the explanation of how much XP the minion gets. This minion levels up every 2,000 points of XP. Each point of mana spend. Each point of mana spend on casting levels up. That's why it's level 6, because I'm spending mana, not because I'm casting spells. I misunderstood how it works. The minion's about to die, but I don't think it's gonna actually die. The rage going down slowly. My DPS is not as high as I thought it was. It's almost 500. This thing has 240 spell power, 256 spell power. This is insane. 300 spell power on that and more. So actually, all of these are insane. Yeah, 24% increased crit chance and damage to the next spell cast. Grant adjacent non-attack spells 4 mana. Adjacent non-attack spells. I need to pay attention to where this is. This is not an attack spell, for example. And this here is also not an attack spell. That's why this works out. I see how this all works out. I randomly actually did something awesome. Generate 40 less range. That's like a no. For the rest of the game, by the way. You now only cover 60% of your missing health after each fight. That's actually really good for us because I have a bunch of regens, so this does not really affect us. Projectile spells, fire less projectiles. Irrelevant. I'm not even using projectile spells. I guess... Actually, I am. But I think it doesn't matter. Because I'm mainly using buffs and attacking. Otherwise, projectile spells have less spell power. Or mythical and godly enemies have a 6% chance of spawning. Projectile spell costs 5 more mana to use. But 40 less rage generated is really bad. We're going with this. 60% of missing life healed. which is most likely gonna kill us, by the way. 60% healing is very dangerous. I didn't even read what those were. Every 8 seconds, grant this spell and adjacent spells 50% of their max mana. Okay, this just goes straight up on the 20 mana cost spell right here. So every 8 seconds, this is gonna get mana and the adjacent ones too. And we're gonna continue with XP gain. What is this? Chrono. No, who cares? Fire an arrow aimed towards your current target. I don't care about this. It's not in the build we're going for. These are either. Volt Shatter. Spawn 3 electric orbs that revolve around you. Lightning orbs deal some damage. It passes through. Still not what we're building. We're not taking things I'm not building towards. Forget that. What is this? Toxic Totem. Summon a totem in a random enemy location, dealing damage per second area. Totem lasts for seconds, whatever. And for Nido, also whatever. I don't care about any of these. We're gonna continue with what we got. Let's go. Yeah, definitely let's go. I want to level more so we have more room on the board. And my minion is level 9 right now, which is really good. I start with very low DPS, but then I slowly become more powerful. Also, I have 5 trees right now happening. So Syntec is giving us 10% bonus damage. And this thing is giving us 25% increased rage. So that's really nice. And let's see how the healing mechanic actually works. Let's not forget I'm also getting regen per second every single fight. 218 attack right here. I'm getting 1 more health regen per second every fight we go through. So right now I should have something like 10. Yeah, we literally don't heal at the end of the fight anymore. And now we got upgrade on the thing I had, which is awesome. So, the choice is either fire 1 additional projectile for every 2 unique active traits you have equipped, or passive rage bonus per unique active trait is increased to 12. We're going here, obviously. So it pretty much asks you, do you want to go more in the projectile build of this build aspect, or more in the rage? We're going into the rage. Now I'm generating 12 increased rage per unique trait, which should be really good. We're gonna go level, obviously. I'm gonna go mana bond, I am using that. Roll, and what is this? Time dilation. The effect of this spell alternates each time it's used. 1. Reduce enemy attack speed by 20% for 4 seconds. 2. Generate 3 bonus mana per second for 5 seconds. Oh, that's actually awesome. 3 bonus mana per second. I like this. I like this. Chrono spells. What does Chrono do once again? Chrono spells generate bonus mana if placed next to at least another Chrono spell. If not, they gain bonus spell power for every 5 seconds. Okay, I guess. I am already into Chrono, by the way, so this does make sense. And I'm also into Bulwark through this thing, which is gonna get to the build at some point. Breaker is the attack speed thing. I think Breaker is more important than... yeah, I am Breaker 3 right now. Yeah, I'm Breaker 3, so I could go to Breaker 4. 40% increased attack speed, the explosion deals 65, and chance for attacks to explode is increased to 40%. Oh, I enjoy this. What does it do? Conjure an electric field towards your current target, dealing 50 damage in an area. If a mythical or godly enemy was hit, gain 25% damage for 6 seconds. This is also a buff. I mean, time dilation most likely is better. Reduce enemy attack speed by 20% for 4 seconds, and then 2, generate 3 bonus mana 5 seconds. So that's gonna make everything faster. But I'm not into Chrono and Bulwark either. I mean, I will become Chrono if I actually take it. But I think I'm gonna go with this. I want to go more into the... Most likely we're gonna go Frost next, by the way. Most likely. Let's go. Because once again, the whole idea is we're mainly playing with Syntec, which says that we gain bonus damage for each different trait that we have active. And we are playing with also 12% increased rage for each trait active. I think we're gonna be permanent rage at this point. Because rage goes down very slowly. We have 700 DPS. And now let's look how fast it goes up. Yeah, I'm gaining 10 rage per second, supposedly, but this is not 10 per second. This is definitely faster than 10 per second. And now I'm raged again. Very nice. My healing is borderline more than what I'm even losing. And my attack speed is pretty up there. I have 340. Yeah, my DPS is 900. This is working. I'm not gonna change what we have. Let's level up. Flame Demon. Emit an Infernal Blast. We read that. No. And Barrage. Fire 100 bullets over 3 seconds in random directions. Each bullet deals 3d damage. So this can do up to 3000 damage. Insane. Afterwards, fire 20 piercing bullets in all directions. Bonus projectiles add 5 additional piercing bullets. Yeah, okay, whatever. It doesn't matter, but this is Eclipse. And also, it's Avaria. Okay, this is an awesome spell in general, but not today. Roll them. I found another one of these, which I'm already using. Definitely take this. I don't have room. Let's throw out things I'm never, ever gonna use, which I would say is... I think it's Torment Man. This doesn't fit. Yeah, this doesn't really fit. This is out. Out and out. Let's go back into this, and let's continue on the next fight. Right now, what we are doing works. So let's play with what we have. Okay, very nice. Explosions. I think I'm seeing a bunch of explosions on my feet or something. Yeah, these explosions. Boom, 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 boom. You see this? I think it's this thing. Die blast 5 aimed at your location. At your location. Ah, this eye is explosion on the ground. I see. DPS 800. My minion has become level 18, by the way. Now it's level 19. Is this 2000 damage? Does my minion do 2000 damage per smack? I think the minion's busted. And we got an item. Is that what the resonance does? I skipped the resonance the last time. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's read. This 19, by the way, is the minion. So, again, 40 hex deflection score. Whenever you deflect a hex, permanently gain 5 maximum health. Okay, that's nice. Actually, this is for the hex build. This is awesome. And the gem we gain is whenever you deflect a hex, gain 2 spell power, 1 on every 5th hex deflection, auto cast. That's nice. I enjoy this. Gain 1,000 health, gain another 100 for each level 3 spells you have equipped, which is 1, 2, 2. We have 2 right now. We got a level, by the way, so we're most likely gonna put a spell in. Wait a minute, what is this? Spell tier odds, tier 5, tier 4. Okay, tier 5 is most likely not gonna be seen in this video. And then we also gain 10% increased mana regeneration. Wait, this is an artifact. This is a gem, this is an artifact. Gain 10% increased mana regen. That's awesome. Increase this by 2 for each level 3 spell you have equipped. Which once again we have 2 right now. So this means 14% mana regen. This is nice. This is nice and free pretty much. And next one is you no longer regenerate health per second. So that's instantly killing my my headgear we had in the equipment slot. Yep, this thing gives us health regen. So this is an instant no. Oh, we can see the stats. Ah, we can see the stats. My health regen is 30 per second right now. This is an instant no, but let's read it. Every 3 basic attacks instantly regenerate health equal to 200% of your health regen stat. Ah, that's actually good. So I don't regenerate per second, I regenerate per 3rd attack 200 times the health regen. So this is you become lifesteal. Gain 15% increased attack speed. Every 3rd attack, fire a projectile towards your current target, dealing 100 damage to enemies hit. Okay, this is 50-50 killing us, 50-50 insane. You know what? Let's maybe lose the run, I guess. 15% attack speed is definitely a yes. It also combos with this thing that says every 3 attacks I do. It also combos with the Reaver idea, which gives us attack speed. The Breaker idea. I think I should go with this. It's a bad idea, but it might be a good idea. YOLO, I guess. This also is free pretty much. I'm gonna go with the YOLO play. So we're not regenerating per second anymore. Don't tell me that skipping just means you get another choice. Gain 60 XP. 60 XP is nice. Imbue a gem with 1 additional effect. Gain 9 sharp refreshes. Your next 9 sharp refreshes only offer tier 1 spells. That's an instant no. Gain 1 life. Okay, I'm gonna go with 60 XP, I guess. So maybe I'm gonna be fast enough at getting one more level. Otherwise, I don't see us getting 1 more level. We're going with 60 XP here. Gain 20 XP. 4 refreshes, man. XP. Definitely buy this. Already part of the build. None of these. This is definitely part of the build. Let's actually see the difference. So right now it does 50% chance to grant 2 mana. And now it is 50% chance to grant 3 mana. Insane! Basic attacks have a 50% chance to grant the 3 mana. This thing. You know what? I want this there. I want this. Yeah, I don't want to be casting this thing. This costs 20 mana. I want to mana block the 20 mana spell. So this goes here. I don't want you to be casting. So this blocks that now. So that means we're going to be rotating through these even faster now. Because I was blocking the 10 mana spell, now I'm going to be blocking the 20 mana spell. Every 8 seconds, grant this spell and adjacent spells maximum mana. I would like this to go here. Come on. Here. So these 3 just mana faster. And this says, grant this spell and adjacent spells 50% of their maximum mana. This thing says this spell generates 100% more mana. So that means every 8 seconds, this is gonna get all its mana. Because 50% double is 100. So this is gonna literally get a free cast every 8 seconds. I think. That should be how it works. Once again, this is locked here. The rest is how it was. Roll. Bolt Battery. I could go into this. 4 spells gain 3 mana. Which is a passive for every 2 projectile spells you cast. Grant this spell to the right 3 spell power until the end of combat and active autocast random projectile spell. But honestly, this is not gonna enter the build. What is gonna enter the build is the Glacier Step. And the Glacier Step now, this is perma-freeze. You know what? Let's go here then. So the idea right now is that the Frostcraft mana blocks the leftmost Frostcraft spell, which is this thing. So this is gonna be frozen from the Frostcraft, and this thing is gonna be freezing this thing. So these 3 spells are not gonna be casting at all. These 3 spells are gonna be getting free mana, so we should be rotating through these spells very fast. Rotate through here. I don't think there was anything I cared about, and I don't think there is anything here I care about either. Unstrict projectiles aimed at your target. I mean, this is Deathblade, 25% increased chance to crit. I could go into Deathblade, but I think the next thing I want to add now is another breaker spell, which is this thing specifically, so I can get even more attack speed and damage. And yeah, I think that's what I want to add, to be honest. So let's go. I need to see this. I would like to go into this here, damage stats. So let's see, am I healing more now or am I healing less? I think I'm healing more. I want to see, I'm healing about 100 whenever I damage. Yeah, look at literally everything just casting. Everything has mana, everything is happening. Yep. Yeah, this thing actually works, as I said. This harmony, it is visible. You see, once in a while, it just instantly we get a bunch of buffs out of nowhere. You see this is just boom, everything gets a buff. Wait for it. Boom, you just saw it there. Nice. We continue with XP. I want to get another level. What is this? Wrath. Passive. Whenever you cast any other spell, auto-cast the spells at 50% power. That's awesome! And conjure an array of ethereal swords that deal 70 damage in a random area location. Spell power scales both damage and area. This is insane. Because this says whenever you cast any other attack spell. I take it back. It says attack spell. I'm not attack spell. I'm a super buff build. And we're gonna go bouncing hail as I am... Actually, I'm not using this. Frenzy. Passive. Whenever adjacent spells are cast, auto-cast the spell with spell power equal to 400% of the cast spell mana cost. And active gain 1% increased attack speed for the duration of combat. This is insane! 1% increase attack speed for the duration of combat. And this is a 4 mana cost spell with refill 4. So this means this thing casts 5 times back to back to back to back. I'm taking this. And I would like to see this, honestly. It's Electros and Beastcaller. I take this out and put this in. Do I get any of these? No, I don't get any of these. So my DPS was 1200. I want to see this in action. Flip these so this powers that up. I want to see this in action. I want to see if we're gonna get more DPS out of that. And we definitely go with this, which I'm already using. And let's see if we're gonna get more or less DPS here. Actually, this is fight 15. I don't want to risk it. Should I risk it? This is a bad idea to risk it. I'm risking it, YOLO it. Because this is the wave, the dangerous wave right now. But I want to see this thing cast 50 times per second. Boom, 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 boom. You see it cast a bunch of times. And I could see my attack speed, honestly. What's my attack speed? 3 attacks per second. Boom, 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 boom. My attack speed is now 3.46 attacks per second. But if I hit anything, it just dies. Let's go. My attack speed has become... is this actually as insane as I would hope it to be? Boom, 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 boom. 3.76 attacks per second. I mean, it is awesome. This now gives me 1.7 attack speed for the rest of combat. 100 enemies remain. I lost a lot of life, but that makes sense because we're in this hard fight right now. Boop, boop, boop. My attack speed goes faster and faster. I have 4 attacks per second right now. What's my DPS? 700. Yeah, we definitely lost 1,000,000 DPS from what I just did. So I'm not gonna do that again. That's for sure. This gets out. This doesn't fit the build right now. But Beastcaller definitely does, because Beastcaller says more beasts based on units. I'm about to lose my minion. It has 29 life right now. It's about to die, actually. Is it even able to die? Yeah, it just died. Oh, look how fast we're attacking. Yeah, oof. Nice. And we did lose a bunch of life, but it's okay. And now this is going to be the final area because the demo is at 20. So let's see. Generate 40% less rage. Instant no. So we're forced into this ranged enemy. Spawn a homing missile on death, dealing 20 damage. These missiles can be evaded. We're going here. Enemy hexes that get deflected have a 75% chance on creating additional hex. And area spells have 20% reduced spell power. I'm okay with all of these. Siphon. Refill 1. Oh, nice. Combat start. Drain 25 spell power for each adjacent spell. What does drain mean? I'm taking that. And we're gonna throw out the spell I just got. And we're gonna put in the spell we previously had. Yeah, let's do the switch here. What does drain mean? Drain 25 spell power from each adjacent spell. Okay, so this spell gets the spell power, the other spells lose it. And I wanted it like this and this. So this casts for free. This is mana blocked. I'm back into my mega spell. And the draining should happen with, I would say, this spell. This is a damage spell though. Refill 1 means it casts again. I don't want to refill this. That's a bad spell to refill. I would like to refill this. Because this thing... Yeah, this thing is not going to be casting, so refill is irrelevant here. 20 XP for sure, I'm about to get a level. I am using this. And I'm also using this. So the question now is, which of these two is about to level? I mean, I got the lightning again. I don't have this twice, so we're gonna get the lightning. 10% increased crit chance, now becomes 15% increased crit chance. Let's roll. None of these, and let's go. This was very sad. Yeah, this was very sad. The next spell that's gonna get added is this one. The Breaker, level 4, pretty much. I'm okay with these 6. Let's go. Now look at this. These 3 never cast. Nice. The refill is irrelevant here. It does nothing, literally. Nice. And this is gaining damage slowly. Yeah, look at us just running through opponents. This here is the running through opponents, by the way. Which honestly is awesome. Look at this. 1000 DPS. Whenever this casts, we just rush through. Let's go. Da-da-da-da. Go. Go. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, it even makes us actually immune. You see, we disappear from the map when this thing happens. We become ethereal, I guess. Nope, we just become a bit more see-through. Is my minion okay? My minion no longer has life. It has become huge, by the way. My minion has become like a huge, bulky thing. Can I make my minion get its life back? Although it doesn't really matter. What is this? Echoing lightning. Conjure random shaped lightning strike random enemy location. Each cast gets increasingly larger than the previous one. Okay, 5 mana. That's awesome. I don't care about any of these. This is Reaver. Reaver is the AoE. We don't care about Reaver. I mean, we mainly care about Soulwaker, which is the rage, lasts longer and is more powerful. Roll away. What is this? Conjure a necrotic explosion on 3 random enemy locations dealing 75 damage. Who cares? And who cares on all those? We're pretty much done. Can I make it so that my Shadowborne... I want to test. This might kill the run, but I want to test if I take away the Shadowborne build and then bring it back in, what happens. So now we lost the spirit. Now it's back. And now I can actually see its life. That's what happens. So now we have my unit back. And 20 spell power back on this thing. And let's go on. Nice. 3d5 levels on this. How much damage does my minion do? I think it does like 240 something. Also, what does the minion do? Each... wait a minute. The shadow minion gains experience whenever you cast. Summon a shadow minion to fight alongside you. The minion levels up for its XP. Yeah, it doesn't say what the minion gets. I guess the build at the end of the day was a Syntech build. They get just a bunch of random things. I'm dying. I am dying. That's not good. I think the regen was a bad idea. Losing the regen and giving the regen to auto attacks, I think that's killing us. Because right now I'm moving, for example, I could be healing this whole time. Yeah, we lost a lot of health with what I did. Gain between 5 and 30 health regen based on your missing health. Okay, that's gonna combo with lifesteal, I guess. Gain a gem. The spell continuously generates between 1 and 3 bonus mana per second based on your missing health. That gem is really powerful, actually. Gain 1 extra revive and then gain 1,000 health. Okay, whatever. Set your remaining lives to 1. Why would I do that? All spells gain 45 spell power, 25 increased mana regen, 1 projectile, and 35 AoE. Okay, this is obviously insane, but I would not trade 2 lives for this passive. Because these 2 lives are literally a 5,000 health heal. So these 2 lives are each 5,000 health. We're going with this. We get more regen on the life, which honestly I would have preferred so much not having the lifesteal right now. And we're also getting the mana regen plus. So leveling up, I just leveled up to max. And now we can put the last spell in, which I would say is this thing. Is it this thing? Is there a Chrono Reaver spell? Chrono Reaver spell would be awesome. What do you do? Bloodthirst. Strike towards your current target, dealing 40 damage in a small area for 4 mana, and refill 4. And it's Soulwaker, which I'm only 2 out of 4. And Deathblade, which is increased crit strike and damage. I mean, I'm gonna definitely buy this in comparison to the rest. I have 8 rerolls. What is this? Embersome. Also, what's the percent of tier 5? I want to get a tier 5 spell. For 3 seconds, launch 5 projectiles per second aimed at random enemies, each dealing 50 damage to the target. Bonus projectiles increase the duration of this effect by 0.5 seconds. Irrelevant. We got this thing irrelevant. We found the transfusion which I'm using. What is this? Can I... what's my Shadowborne right now? It's not that high. I think the Nocturne is never gonna join the build. Yeah, this doesn't fit. What's the only thing that's left on the Shadowbane? I've never seen that other thing. These, yeah, I don't think we're gonna go deeper into the Shadowborne place. Let's throw this out. Let's buy this because I'm using it. I found it again. I'm also using this, but let's take this because I'm using it a lot. So now it's got 8 spell power. Roll away. This, I'm also definitely using this, the Glacier Step. I'm not really sure I'm gonna use a Death Blade. So I either go with Death Blade to get the Death... Oh, this is at 3? Okay, if this is at 3, it's useless. I thought it was at 2. At 3 is useless. I'm not gonna get the passive in time. I'll definitely buy the thing I already have then. I'm getting this Bloodthirst a bunch of times as well, as far as I'm seeing. I don't care about these though. What is this? Evasion score and spell power. For every 15 attacks you evaded. I could go Phantom for the evasion score. But what I would like to go is Bulwark. Or Chrono. Or Reaver. So, roll away from these. I found a Syntech, which by the way, Syntech levels up per 1. So I'm gonna get 3% bonus. And also Reaver. This joins. What is this? Mage Barrier. Passive. Whenever any shield expires, grant adjacent spells 15 spell power until the next cast. And active, perform a short dash in the direction of your current target. Upon reaching your destination, gain a shield that absorbs 250 damage. And it's Soulwaker and Oracle. And Oracle levels up per level. This is a tier 4 once again. And Soulwaker is also awesome. But honestly, I'm gonna go with the Syntech Reaver. Because this combos into 2 things. Syntech is gonna get a level. So that's a 1% more damage per active trait. And Reaver is gonna be a new trait. So that means that we're gonna get a little bit of everything. Just like this. Yeah, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 active traits. And Syntech is level 3. So we get 3% damage per active traits, and we get another 12% increased rage through that. So even better than even better. Throw these out. Definitely buy this, which we already have. That's a tier 2. And I definitely buy this, which... No, definitely buy this. And this is right now 30 damage. And that has become 45 damage. Every 3rd time the spell is cast or auto-cast for 2 additional projectiles. Okay, these 3 are locked in. This spell power, what does this do? This spell gains bonuses depending on what types of spell are placed next to it. Area, projectile, passive, and buff. Okay, do we have one that has everything? Projectile. This is area. No, this is area. Area, passive, buff, buff and passive, buff and passive, passive and attack. Okay, and this says area, projectile, passive, and buff. This is projectile and passive. Yeah, projectile and passive. So the best place is next to buff passive, and area projectile passive. So it would be here. So right now it's next to a passive buff and next to a passive projectile. So it should be getting 2 times generate 25% increased mana from the 2 passives. 1 time projectile, which gives it 20% increased crit chance, and 1 time buff, which gives it fire and extended strike. That's what it should do. And we're gonna go with this spell. Continues generates between 1 to 3 mana per second based on missing health. That should go to constantly regenerate mana. Which one would that need? I guess this thing I just got. I guess. I mean, I'm not really sure. What does this do? Fire 1 additional projectile per 20 spell power. This is not a projectile spell. Do I have a projectile spell? This is a projectile spell. And this is also a projectile spell. Every 3rd time a spell casts additional projectiles. Yeah, this definitely needs to go somewhere else. You know what? Let's put this here. The 1 projectile spell I'm actually using. And let's put this here. Because this says it generates 1 to 3 mana. And this thing says that it generates 100% more mana. So this is actually between 2 and 6. So let's go. Now this should be slowly regenerating mana, I guess. Oh no, this thing actually. Yeah, look at this. It slowly regenerates mana. Slowly. And then boom, it goes fast. And then goes slow again and gets the free casts. And this here, by the way, gives spell power to everything. So everything becomes better and better and better and better and more powerful, more powerful, more powerful. And these 3 are not casting ever. So look at the mana of just flying over things. It's here 1, boom, then it goes here, jumps instantly over, boom, boom, goes over and just jumps back. Does this actually not cast? Yeah, this seems to not be casting. No, it actually casts from other things going on. And I'm full life, actually. So, do these matter to us? Echoing lightning? No, these do not matter to us. Roll away. This matters. Although I'm not really having it used. I'm not using it right now. Roll away. I'm not using any of these as far as I'm seeing. This is Soul Walker, but too late. The build is this, man. I'm not changing the build. We're just buying whatever we have. We only buy whatever we have. Unless I see a tier 5 that I have never seen before. Okay, let's get this from 65 damage. It does 79 damage. And the passives below are still the same. Why is this not casting, by the way? I don't know why this is not casting. Basic attacks, grant spell power, casting... You know what? Let's actually go again. And let's see if I can see this not casting. So my damage is 50 right now. 135. It just jumped over it. It feels like it jumps over it. Goes here and then jumps over there. Chrono spells here. Yeah, I don't understand why it's jumping over this thing. But I don't think it really matters because it seems to be working anyway. It seems like I'm getting the damage. Like I do have the damage here. I'm losing a bunch of life. Man, the regen play was so bad. But it's okay. It's so bad, but it's okay. I should know that from here on out, never do that. By the way, do you see the shotgun blast? I'm doing like some kind of shotgun blast of 1,000,000 projectiles. Yeah, look at that. It's like an insane shotgun. This here, having the spell power and shotgun was the play. Look at this. It's literally a shotgun I'm shooting out. And we should be healing 60% of our missing health right now. Boom. And we got another resonance. Wow, you only get the bonus if you skip once? That's so bad. 5 spells at 10% attack speed. I just take the attack speed. I am using this, so we should buy that. As I said, the build is done. What is this? Present flare. Fire a volley of 8 projectiles in all directions, dealing 50% damage to all enemies hit. After a short delay, dash towards a random enemy and pull projectiles back to you. So this is the ultimate of talent from League of Legends, I guess. Throw that away. We're gonna continue buying this. Now it's level 2. Mythical or godly enemies hit me in 30% attack damage, whatever. What is this? We got the Nocturnal again. Irrelevant. Time dilation maybe fits. This is Bulwark and Chrono. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If I throw this out, I can go 2 new traits. Give me this for example, a second. If I do this swap, yeah, I have this amount straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 traits. So it's either 8 traits or 7 traits with Centec level 3. So 7 times 3 is 21. 8 times 2 is 16, but we get 12% increased rage, and instead of getting the cutthroat slash, which does damage, we gain the reduce enemy attack speed and generate bonus mana for 5 seconds. I do want to try this. We have 1,600 health right now. These are all irrelevant though, and these are also all irrelevant. Let's see this. Is this the final fight? This is actually the final fight. Oof. Is it a good idea to try this at the final fight? I mean, Chrono should be next to each other, by the way, so this should definitely be over here. And Chrono says that Chrono gets 50%. Yeah, Chrono does what? 50% increase mana regen, or 5 spell power every 5 seconds. No, I'm gonna go with 50% mana regen. And the other buff we got was... What was the other thing we got from this? Chrono and... Excuse me, Chrono and Bulwark. Bulwark says... Do I not have Bulwark? Am I blind? Yeah, Bulwark says, gain a shield whenever you cast or auto-cast a Bulwark spell. Which is these two. Let's try this. YOLO it from 1,600 DPS. Let's see how much DPS we're gonna have now. I really like how I'm changing the build literally at the worst fights. But let's do it. I don't think I changed anything other than that. I think this is still how it's supposed to be. So this fires. This gets skipped. Ah, grant adjacent attack spells. Grant adjacent non-attack spells for mana. Ah, this gives mana to the adjacent one. That's why this is firing. Yeah, because you see it pop up. When it pops up, it means it fired. There's like a little pop. Okay, I think my DPS is worse. I am also gaining shielding though, so my protection is better. Oh yeah, look at this. I'm not even losing life anymore. I'm not even losing life anymore. This was the correct decision. And this thing right now says reduce enemies attack speed for 35% for 4 seconds, man. Opponents can't even damage us anymore. I mean, I am getting damaged, alright, but we are healing from the lifesteal mechanic. I am also losing life from the explosions and what's happening. The shotgun of this thing is insane. This has 676 spell power, man. Look at actually at all my spell power that I'm saying that. 700, 800 spell power. Next shotgun blast is instant death. Look at this shotgun blast this thing does. Shotgun blast, go. Boom, everything dead. 900 spell power on this thing. How much damage does this do? 435, and it's every third spell cast for 2 additional projectiles. Look at this insane thing. 1,000 spell power at the end. 1,000. And my DPS was 1,800. If I take this, it's a tier 6 spell that says gain +1 wishlist. If the release game spell is cast with at least 7,000 wishlists, make the developer of this game very happy. Awesome, the design is so cool. And then also please and thank you as the traits and 10 man, I mean, add to wishlist spell. I enjoy this as an idea. As I said, the game is a free demo, you can play it right now. And if this video gets a bunch of likes, you know what, maybe the editor is gonna have somewhere an infographic of saying like, if it gets this many likes, I'm gonna play it again. He has to look into my current likes and whatnot to decide. We're gonna see anyway. So yeah, maybe he's gonna convince me. Let's go back to main menu. I hope you guys really enjoyed. The game is definitely replayable right now. You can definitely do a bunch of things. Right now I did the Syntech build, which is just go with a bunch of random traits and it just works. It just works, man. It just works. But maybe next time we're gonna do a Reaper or Ranger or Assassin or I don't know what other electric. Maybe we could go electric build or pyro build. I don't know. If you want to see more of this, comment down below. Tell me about it. If it goes well, I'm gonna do another one. If it doesn't go well, then I don't know. I'm gonna find another game that you guys enjoy more, and we're gonna play that next time. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, thanks for watching, and see you guys around.